So it's now April 15th, about to turn 9:50, not 9:50, 9:36 in like 5 seconds. And now for me it's 9:36 p.m. So, funny story, which is actually what I'm going to be telling more of later on today. When I was grinding to get this one, because now we're on chapter 4, I actually got, I think it was this one. And then I thought, oh, did I maybe get it, like get lucky this time? Because originally when I got this one, I got it within like 10 levels for grinding. I thought, oh, maybe I got super lucky and I got it early today. And then I noticed, like, nope, that's not the one I need. It's literally right beside it. And then literally 2 levels later, after some more grinding, I got this. So all in all, around like 10 levels worth of grinding, and I finally got this. But yes, let's finally do this. You know, originally when I first did this level, I had no idea what to use for the thumbnail.
And the others had successfully activated the central tower. Under Pura's guidance, they embarked on a mission to restore the ancient structures all across Hyrule.
I had no idea what to use for a thumbnail, so I was thinking, hey, first time going into Akala Citadel, let me take a picture of the Citadel and use it there.
For Akala, where the final tower awaited, as did a Yiga clan ambush.
I honestly never thought I would actually go back and revisit that thumbnail. Alright, so the story I want to tell today is kind of like 2 different stories within the same event. So today I want to talk about the field trip I had for my 8th grade graduation. 8th grade was the final grade for my elementary school. I know in like Japan, high school starts in like the 10th grade. But for me, high school starts in 9th grade, which means grades 1 to 8 is elementary school for me. So for 8th grade, I had a field trip, like one final field trip. I'm not gonna say where. I don't think it really matters if I do or not, but whatever. So it was a field trip. Ooh, I'm a little late for that. It was a field trip overnight. I think it was in the span of 3 days. We took a bus there and we stayed 2 nights at a hotel. So I was in a hotel room with 3 of my other friends. 2 of those friends of mine didn't like each other that much, but nothing really happened because of that. So I don't remember which one of these 2 little stories happened first. So I'll talk about this one first. For some reason, I just randomly remembered this today, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to talk about that. Alright. So I think this may have happened first. Now I really don't remember. So we went to a shopping mall as one of the stops. I don't even remember if that was like before the dinner of the first night or even the second night. But regardless, what I do remember is me and my group of friends, you know, we walked around together. We walked into an EB Games. You know, right now, all the EB Games in Canada have been rebranded to GameStop. But back then, they were all known as EB Games. I think Australia, they're still called EB Games? I don't know. I don't know. If anyone in Australia is watching, please let me know. So yeah, back then, at EB Games, we walked in, and we were just looking around. So this friend of mine, who, you know, I'm still friends with today, we talk pretty often. You know, homie of mine, he actually bought, I think it was a Steam gift card for himself. Because, you know, back then we were just kids. We didn't have no credit cards or whatever. So we actually had to buy the gift cards for ourselves to actually spend on Steam. That's how we did it back then. So I just remember that the time limit for us being there was just about up. So, you know, the bus was leaving soon. So we had to rush, rush all the way back to the entrance so that we can board the bus. So basically, by the time, like 5 minutes prior to when the time limit was up, we were still in the EB Games. So all I remember was him really quickly trying to buy that gift card. And then, because we were low on time, him just running out of the EB Games with that gift card in hand. And because we were in such a hurry, you know, he didn't take the receipt. So I must have missed this part, but I heard the story after, I think, like, we got on the bus or whatever. Or maybe, I don't remember. So regardless, what happened was, because we were running low on time, we ran out of the store. Him running out of the store with a gift card in hand. And, you know, that kind of looks sus. A bunch of kids running out of a store with an item in their hand without a receipt. It's like, okay, no big deal. You know, he paid for it. But the scariest part would have been the security guard right outside the store. And the story is like, I'm making it out to be more than it is. Honestly, nothing happened. Security guard didn't even bat an eye. Oh, I was trying to figure out how do I get on the bridge, but no, I have to come here first. Oops. So that's basically one of the stories. It was the fact that he bought a Steam gift card. We were running low on time, so, you know, he didn't take the receipt, and he had to run out of the store holding the gift card. So we ran out the store when a security guard was standing right outside the store. And we were all so scared, like, yo, will the security guard, like, chase us down because he think we stole that? Like, will that delay us from getting on the bus? Will we have to explain this to all our teachers? It was honestly one of the funniest things that happened on the entire trip. And then here's another story of something else that happened on the trip. So as I mentioned, I was rooming with three of my other friends. It was the four of us in a room. It was the three of us. Oh wait, it was me and three others in the room, so it was the four of us. I shared the bed with the friend of mine, who the guy that almost seems like he stole the gift card he doesn't like. There were only 2 beds, but 4 of us, so we had to share beds. So the friend of mine, who, you know, actually moved away a long time ago, so I haven't spoken to him since. The friend of mine who I shared a bed with, he brought his own blanket because he didn't trust, or he would rather not use the blanket that hotels supply. I mean, now that I'm more grown up, I guess I can understand, you know? We didn't really know much about black lights back then. Anyways. So, because he brought his own blanket, he slept on top of the blanket that the hotel provided. And he also liked blasting the AC. So AC was on max. He was sleeping on top of the blankets. And because I was sharing a bed with him, that means I got no blanket. Because, you know, the 2 of us were on top of the bed sheets. So, you know, I was sleeping there in short sleeves with no blanket, no covers, and max AC. So halfway through the night, I got up like, you know what, I can't take this anymore. It's too cold for me to sleep. So I threw on some jeans and a hoodie, and then I went back to bed. I think I was able to fall asleep briefly, but I did end up getting sick from that. I got a cold from that, I think. But, you know, luckily I got sick after the trip. Like, the 3 days had passed, we all came back home, and then I started feeling sick. So at least it happened after we got back home. And you know what? Like, as much as I'm trying to think about all the other stuff, all the wacky stuff that happened on that trip. Other friends of mine who shared a room themselves, like another group of friends of mine, they shared a room. One of them, for some reason, I don't know why, he slept in the closet. I don't know why. And then another friend of mine, who was rooming with another guy who I didn't really like at the time, for some reason, he told me that the guy that I didn't like at the time, he brought, I don't know, like his entire Xbox or whatever. I don't remember what console he brought. Maybe he brought his PlayStation. I don't know what console he had. Regardless, I just remember the story like he brought his entire console with him. I think that's how the story went. But yeah, I don't know why that friend of mine, who I still talk to pretty often, I don't know why he slept in the freaking closet. I mean, then again, when I was there, I was more than willing to sleep on the floor. I was really ready to like put a towel on the floor and sleep completely on the floor. I don't know why. Okay, I was a kid. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't, you know, making smart decisions. And here's something else that happened. So in the morning, the complimentary breakfast at the hotel gave, you know, there were tater tots, eggs, orange juice. I almost said apple juice. I don't think there was apple juice. You know, cereal, the complimentary breakfast. I remember I don't want to say I got sick from it, but the food must have been bad because I lost my appetite for like the entire trip. I don't think I even got food poisoning. I just lost my appetite even after the trip. Even after the trip, we got back home, and for a good several days, I completely lost my appetite. I remember my friends were all going crazy about how great the tater tots were there. And me, what I tried was I tried the eggs. I tried the scrambled eggs. Looking back, there were probably like powdered scrambled eggs. I don't know. That's just what I'm guessing. Cause how can you mess up scrambled eggs to the point like I lost my appetite for the better part of over a week? But then again, like why would a hotel be using powdered eggs instead of actually just, you know, whisking up some legit eggs? I don't know. Well, we'll never know unless I have a time machine and I can travel back and ask the chefs who cooked that meal. Well, we'll never know. That's a mystery left unsolved in history. I'm trying to think what else happened. So I remember that the dinner, I don't remember which night it was. Might have been, I think, the second night. The dinner we had, we went to some restaurant, and there were mainly two options that we can order from. It was either pasta or a steak. And looking back, the teacher I had for my 8th grade, who, you know, now that I'm looking back on, was kind of a dick to me. You know, for some reason, back then, everyone was so fascinated or found it hilarious whenever I ate beef. Because, you know, my name is Angus. Haha, Angus beef. Hilarious. So, you know, just to satisfy the crowd, just to humor everyone, I ordered the steak because, you know, eating beef. Haha, very funny. I just remember the steak I had was like so overdone. It was so tough. I also remember during that dinner, some other friends of mine, they did that trick with the glass. Like, you know how when you have like a glass cup, the kind that looks like a wine glass but isn't necessarily a wine glass, when you know, wet your finger and then rub it around the rim, pause, it creates some sort of like high-pitched noise. I remember they were doing that, and then my drama teacher at the time, like, she got so pissed at us doing that. Well, it wasn't me, they did it. But she got so pissed at the fact that that was being done. And then I remember vaguely other stuff like someone threw a bunch of salt in someone's water so they couldn't drink it anymore. And I think relating to that, like, I think they just threw in a bunch of crap into that water, into that salted water. Like, they threw in the sauce, the ketchup, they threw in, like, paper or whatever. They just threw in all the garbage into that and made probably a nuclear radioactive concoction. So I need to go this way. I remember, for some stupid reason, I don't know why I bought this. I bought a bracelet. I bought a brown bracelet at like a gift shop. I actually still have it. I don't know why I bought it. I guess I just thought it looked cool. I don't even remember how much it was. I wouldn't put it past that being like only like $2. But yeah, I bought a bracelet that, you know, you have to tie a knot around your wrist in order to wear, which that's not that convenient. That means I need someone else's help to put it on, because I am unable to tie a knot with one hand. I'm sure there's people out there who can do that. Aw, I wasted this. Man, I remember now. This Suga boss fight is in stages. Aw, man, I just wasted that. I actually still have that. But yeah, I don't know why I bought it. I guess I just thought it looked cool. And I had the money. I had the money that my parents gave me. But yeah, I don't like wearing, I don't even like wearing watches, because it feels like something is unnaturally there. It feels like, you know, something is there that is not meant to be there. It feels like there's an extra weight on my wrist. I don't like wearing watches, because, you know, whenever I need to look up the time, I just pull out my phone and turn on the screen. But some of my friends, they go crazy over watches. And, okay, here's an embarrassing section of this story, of this trip. So back then in 8th grade, I had this huge crush on this girl. There was this one girl that like a dozen other guys had a crush on, and I had a huge crush on her. But I was too embarrassed to ever admit it. Because, you know, I'm pretty sure she knew as well. Like, everyone knew, but I just kept on denying it. Everyone just kept saying, you know, like, we know you like her. And I'm just like, no, I don't. No, I do not. When it was super obvious. You know, I'm not afraid to admit that I did like her now, because, you know, it's been like almost a decade. So what harm would it be in mentioning it now? But yeah, like, looking back, it was very unfair of her, because everyone tried to pair her up with me in a joking way. So it was really unfair for her. But yeah, I had this mad crush on this one girl back then. And I just remember, like, everyone trying to pair us up during that trip, and man, it was so awkward. To the point, like, I regret going on that trip after the trip was done. Looking back, I wish I'd never gone on that trip. Cause the way I oh, this is weird to say. The way I felt for her, and the way that everyone tried to pair us up and mock us over it, it's like, damn, that kind of ruined the trip and my memories of that trip. Kind of lost my way here. Cause I remember too, like, there's a picture floating around somewhere out there. Like, I think my teacher was even a part of it too. There's a picture out there where someone took a picture of the two of us. I think it was my teacher, actually. He was like, you two, get together, let's take a picture. And, man, for some stupid reason, I smiled in that picture. There is a picture of me smiling next to my crush, floating somewhere out there, and man, that picture is embarrassing. I don't have it myself. Man, but it exists. It exists somewhere out there. I don't know who has it. I'm not gonna miss you with this attack this time. Did I even hit him? I don't think I hit him. I guess I did miss him. I swear, wasn't I locked on? Alright, let me do this again. Oh yeah, another thing I remember from the trip. I remember on the last day, when we were on our way back from the hotel, which in Canada, actually. In Canada, we have provinces and territories. It's not like the US where they have states. Which the trip was actually in a different province. So in terms of the US, imagine it like we went to a different state for a trip. We went to a hotel in a different state. So if you're in the US, think of it that way. So yeah, so it was a rather long bus ride. I think it was like at least 3 hours. So I remember on the final day when we were on our way back, I remember the AC broke. And because it was near the end of the school year, because we were close to graduating, this was a graduation trip. It was close to the end of the semester, which means it was close to summertime. I think the trip was like, maybe like around June, I think? I don't remember. Maybe May or June. But that's a hot time. So, no AC. The bus was blistering hot. I remember that. So I remember we had to make a stop at like an outlet mall until we could figure out the AC problem. Either fix it or like get a new bus. So I remember we spent like, I don't know, 2 hours at that outlet mall. Just wasting time. Waiting for the bus to get, well, to get AC. I remember I went into a Dollarama there and I bought a Hot Wheels. I don't remember which Hot Wheels I bought. Man, I was so big into buying Hot Wheels back then. Occasionally, if I like one, if I see one I like, I'll buy it as well. I don't remember if I got a bag. No, I think I had my bag with me. Because on this trip, we were given complimentary bags. So I think I stuck it in my backpack, like the backpack that we got for free for going on that trip. You know, so it wasn't just me, an awkward kid, walking around the outlet mall for a few hours, just a Hot Wheels toy in hand. Trying to remember what other stuff happened on that trip besides me getting embarrassed in front of my crush. You know, I haven't spoken to her in like a good 5-6 years. I highly doubt we'll ever speak again. Because, you know, I did kind of ruin our friendship, you know. I made it a little too awkward for us to ever see each other again. But if it happens, if we do run into each other again, well, what happens, happens. But yeah, I just randomly thought about that trip today, the day I'm recording this. So I'm like, you know what, let me talk about it. Let me embarrass myself by telling these stories. Well, only one portion of the story is actually embarrassing. Everything else is just like fun memories of mine. I can get rid of these, I guess. You know what? If these are just high resell, I may as well just get rid of them. Weak ass weapons, I don't need them. Trying to think, any last minute memories from that trip? I remember after the outlet mall when the bus was fixed, on our way back, we were so loud. Like, it was just a group of kids in a bus on our way back. I can only imagine what the bus driver was thinking, because I remember the teachers had to tell us to shut up multiple times. Like, we were being too loud. If you're gonna make it any louder, the bus driver's gonna be too distracted and crash the bus. The teachers didn't say that, but that's what I imagined they had in their minds. Alright, so that's chapter 4, 1. So now we still have chapter 2, no, Chapter 4-2 and 4-3. Oh, we have a long way to go, especially for these Blood Moon levels. It's only 10 p.m. for me right now, too. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time for more of this freaking game, which honestly I'm making no progress in, because all I'm doing is replaying the same levels for a third time with a red tint over it. Alright, see you next time. Bye now.